Hey YouTube friends, welcome back, lurkers and longtime subscribers and recent subscribers. I appreciate you all joining me for a look at this cool original vintage Astroman. Before I get into it, make this today, if you're a lurker or just browsing through looking for cool toys, that you hit the subscribe button, because you will then be notified of all the coolest toys on the internet. No one has stuff like this, and you will be pleasantly pleased at the amount of rare items you can see. Having said that, thanks again for joining me. And I have with you an original 1960s Nomura Astroman with sparks. As you may or may not know, this robot or astronaut was reproduced by Osaka Tin Toy, and I believe that they were the company that made the original ones, right? So there's no surprise there. They did that with a lot of the Tetsugens. And speaking of Tetsugen, it's amazing to me. I would say this astronaut clearly falls into the top 5 of all time, possibly in the top 3 of all astronauts. There is that little tiny deep sea robot style pressing that has that cool little tiny blue astronaut that is really like insanely rare to get and hard. I don't have that. So that's definitely in the top 3. Then there's that other Tetsugen pressing also, the Spaceman S, I believe they call it, the battery operated with control. And again, that's another one I don't have. So if you have any of those super rare ones and you would like to sell them, let me know. I would certainly be interested in buying them. But in the meantime, I have this. Is it my favorite? It's definitely tied for among my favorite astronauts, but, I'm also pleasantly pleased with, like, say, the big Dia astronaut, strictly going from an aesthetics point of view. But obviously, this is just from the rarity standpoint alone, it's just so damn hard to get that, it's way up on my list. Now, this is the box. The illustration of the Astroman is so lifelike that it almost looks like a photo of the Astroman himself. And you can see here, this is an original box. It's got the Nomura logo. There's no Osaka Tin Toy logo. Not that, again, I love the Osaka ones. I should probably invest in all those different color variations they make. And here is the side of your box. And of course, this was designed or modeled after, I believe, the 2001 Space Odyssey astronaut suits. Even the colors here, ironically, they did make a yellow, right? So I guess if I was going to buy an Osaka Tin Toy, I'd probably go for the yellow first as a color variation. I shouldn't have said that, because now you guys might all run out and buy it. So don't buy that one. But anyway, he's brilliantly depicted here on his nice moon landscape there. And I'm very fortunate to have an extremely rare original box for this toy. This toy itself is even just ungodly hard to find, and let alone with his box. Anyway, you can see the lithography on this. I mean, it's a pristine original example. You could also notice how the rubber hands show a little bit of aging, a little bit of drying, which is good, right? Because you want this to be all original. Now, the one thing that I've heard about this particular example, I don't know if it's true, but I think the source is pretty reliable. You see over here, there's a little tin plate. See if I can point it out right there. This feature here is a very early production. Only I was informed on the Japanese versions of this toy. And there's maybe only a couple of dozen that were made like this, maybe 50 tops, early production versions. And this was originally in a collection of somebody that was apparently tied into the Nomura people. So this could very well be accurate information. And then you can see the screw on this particular version, they're original, but it's off-centered. It's not right under his chin. And then he's got the screw behind the helmet here. And again, this is all original. The reason I'm not going over a lot of the details of the litho is because probably there's a lot of reproductions on YouTube at this point, and they look fairly similar. But look, let me tell you, there's nothing like an original. I never even paid attention to those gold clips over here that kind of hold down the helmet, which is pretty cool. on both sides. And again, you could see the weathering and the color fading consistent with age on these. So he walks with sparks. I'm assuming the flint is no longer operable. And here's his on-off switch. So I did give him a couple of key wands, and let's see if he turns on. Wow, not a bad runtime. What do you guys think? I think that was almost a minute. And by the way, before I sign off, you can see here also the TN logo. So there you have it. And there's the key, which looks to be original also. That is your walking Astroman, mechanical walking Astroman with sparks. It doesn't appear to be sparking any longer, but I could be wrong. I mean, if I just looked at the back of the toy running, it could conceivably emit a spark or two. In the meantime, I appreciate you guys joining me for this somewhat long video, but keep in mind, these are not the type of toys that you're really going to see too often, especially original ones like this. I think the last recorded auction had this with a buyer's premium probably in the $13,000 range, right? So these are not common, and I don't mind spending a little bit of time and letting you enjoy the toys, because after all, that's what it's all about. And with that, thanks again for joining me. Don't forget, as a reminder, hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so you're notified whenever I post a new video, or else you probably won't even know. And with that, thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you later.